have taken all the use cases from American Airlines and some of the banking BFSI verticals. So, and we are releasing one more book with advanced concepts in March that will talk about high availability as well as Postgres on all the hyperscaler clouds. Let's say, for example, AWS, RDS, Aurora, Azure Flexible Server, GCP, Alloy, Cosmos. So in OCI recently they started how the Postgres will work on OCI. So basically nowadays, if you look at last 3-4 years, Postgres it is occupying Oracle's space, maybe because of licenses, maybe because of open source, and they are having a lot of capabilities like high availability, sharding, so whatnot. It is one of the best database, I believe. So last 4 years when I'm working on this now, I'm comparing each and every factor with Oracle and MySQL. So, over to
thanks. So myself, Pani Kadambari, I'm also having a very vast experience in the Oracle domain. But for the last 2 to 3 years, I have been traveling with my mentor Ravi in Postgres as well as other non-Oracle database side. Pleasure to work with him in publishing book, and looking forward for many more in the future.
And they wanted to give a talk. So next month we have actually we've started to talk about. We're going to be talking about PG breakfast, I guess. No, the PG breakfast, right? Which is the product that was hosted by Crunchy, and now it is just open source. It is for backup and point in time recovery. In my opinion, this is one of the best things we have used. Aside from doing it from scratch, or using Bartman. What's the Bartman? By Enterprise DB. So Chris next month will be talking about that. So we will probably look at you presenting. What's the next Tuesday, the second Tuesday of February? Because we always meet the second Tuesday. We don't hope it is not January or February.
We're meeting in
Okay, so it's not going to be the same day as the PG. So if you're open on February the 10th, you would be probably talking about some aspects of the book. What do you want to talk about?
we talk about one use case of customer.
Okay. I mean, here's your audience. You can negotiate with them. Are you okay with that, guys, or you want them to be focusing on a certain use case? Or what use cases as options?
Migration, one of the
we have implemented migration for one of our customers, and we have implemented the static strategy using Bartman as well. Bartman on for cloud. That is one scenario, and and replication is one POC we did using the Golden Gate between Oracle and Postgres. So that can also be taken.
So that's a good thought after PG Breakfast. That's a good one.
Are you covering Bartman as well?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I can compare a little bit. Yeah.
We can definitely talk about the migration forward get back. The Bartman using Bartman is best.
Yeah, and I guess just also, as you guys are aware, the new one, I don't see many new faces. Mostly everybody. Oh, you're okay. So we also have access to, thanks to AWS, Vivek with AWS, so we have always access to some resources from Amazon down the road. For the next 2 months, we are set in our presentations. And shout out to John here, he always presents. You want to present something down the road?
Oh yeah, I think we would be an interesting talk would be on the new what's the name of it? Document database from Microsoft based on Postgres. And I forget the name escapes me. Yeah.
It's actually
something else.
No, it's open
Yeah, I'll tell you.
open source.
What's it called?
Document DB?
That is on the part of AWS. That is compatible of MongoDB. That has nothing to do with Postgres.
I'll tell you the
It's a
name.
wireline, I thought it was based on Postgres. The
Ferret.
article I read said
It is FerretDB. FerretDB.
Ferret.
I thought Ferret was the front end.
No, it's named like that, document DB, open
Yeah.
source announcement by Microsoft.
Document DB.
Yeah, it's open source on
Right, but to my understanding, these names are copyrighted. I don't know. Because AWS has the same name, document DB, for MongoDB databases.
Yeah.
Maybe,
The MongoDB?
Actually, I think the article
Article
mentioned that.
maybe generic names cannot be
That's why
copyrighted.
they
With the
wait.
open source, that's how you know.
Article mentioned it. Well, I thought it was interesting because it's based on Postgres.
The one in AWS, that is MongoDB compatible.
Mongo-
Maybe the one which you're talking about, they might have changed the name.
Well, somebody wrote, MongoDB translated it for this Microsoft product, but, yeah, I think they mentioned it.
That is Cosmos DB.
Cosmos DB. Yeah.
Cosmos is a
Cosmos is
Microsoft.
the big.
Yeah, yeah,
big
that's
family.
what I think they are talking about.
No. There is called FerretDB.
Okay,
It's an open source platform that was released with Postgres engine.
okay.
It is.
And that is released by,
Open
Black.
source by Microsoft.
Okay.
Yeah, Microsoft.
What's it used, Xshore?
How about let's do the introduction and then let's
Yeah.
have the ball rolling.
Correct.
You
So
know,
that's, thank you. Yeah, let's focus, Chris.
Yeah.
We don't need to participate. You're one of the co-organizers.
Yeah, right.
Chris, Karan, you, Karan.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You wanna give it away or what?
After session? Yeah, after session,
After session.
one of you can post a question.
Is there no
The only thing is that some people might have family urgency so early. So to my understanding, just finish the deal. I mean,
Yeah.
ask the question, any question. you can ask.
Any question?
Which version of Postgres?
It is, we have worked predominantly on 16.3 and we have added the new features of 17.
Yeah. Predominantly 16 and 17.
16.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem I have with the books, is they're usually out of date.
By the time we started, and by the time we, come to a close, we have 17 got released and we haven't added much after.
Yeah,
So
so
the question is like this. In recent versions of the PostgreSQL, just raise your hand as long as you understand my question and if you feel like you have the answer. So the person who raised the hand first will go one by one, all right? I will tell you now. So in the recent version of PostgreSQL, what are all the kinds of partition schemes in PostgreSQL? Like what kind of partitions we have in PostgreSQL in the recent versions?
John, you have range partition?
Raise your hand. No, okay. Anybody else would like to try that? What kind of partition schemes we have in PostgreSQL? There are 3 or 4 kind of the partition schemes. Okay, so we have one person here. Would you like to answer? Range is the one type of the.
Yeah.
So
We did it last time, live environment.
Okay, please. Yeah. Okay.
Range,
Range.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So debate is the winner today. Good try, by the way. Maybe
Range,
next
list
time.
and,
Yeah, let's
range, list.
Yeah, like this. Keys.
And now, in about, Dave, you gotta read the book and give the front.
No, I think it's what they're about.
Next week, that was from you, on the book.
Like this, with the book.
Yeah, sure, of course.
This will go to the link there. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So guys, we're gonna start with our main event today. Satish, who is a senior software engineer. So he will be talking about ORA2PG. By the way, ORA2PG, not to steal the thunder, is a tool that has been around for a while that allows you to automate the migration from Oracle to Postgres. Anybody here uses Oracle? We're gonna have to ask you to do
Do we need to introduce everybody or?
It's up to you.
Yeah, sure, we can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I am Vivek Singh. I am Principal Database Specialist here at AWS for last 10 years. This April I will complete my 10 years. I started using PostgreSQL since 2006. And I am part of the Postgres User Group in Dallas with Taha for last 5 years. Maybe we can start quickly and then let the people know you are kind of.
John.
I started using Postgres, golly, I don't remember version 7, I think. And the Ingress team, I had a lot, I worked, the Ingress, which was the predecessor to Postgres, I worked with a lot of the people in California.
Don't show your age.
Showing my age, yeah, back in the 80s, actually. So post-Ingress, Postgres means post-Ingress. So it's actually a very old system, it's been around quite a while. So yeah, I brought it to, I guess I'm done for bringing it to Verizon, and we converted a big messaging systems in Verizon to Postgres, and it was right before 9/11. So when 9/11 happened, 2 weeks after we converted, we were running all the trade center traffic through Postgres, and I actually had to cancel a talk in New York, and so that was a good thing. Everybody was worried, but Postgres did great. And got a very good reputation in Verizon. And it was it, man. It took off. So it's used heavily in Verizon, a lot internally. A lot of the forward-facing stuff's horrible, but it's very popular in Verizon. So I hear it. So anyway, it's kind of a great product. Can't go wrong with it. Never had a problem with it.
I'm David McGay. I work at GlobalTech up in Sherman. And I'm a software developer, primarily .NET and Python and stuff like that. I do a lot of work with the databases of programming, writing SQL and stuff, more and more. I started out, I don't know, 25 years ago or so in Oracle and SQL Server, and I did a little MySQL like 10 years ago or so. But I've been mostly Postgres for the last 8 or 10 years now. We still have an Oracle database we use.
I've been
Oracle 8.
I've been Oracle 8.
Yeah, 11 out. It's Oracle Financials 11 out.
The last version I worked in.
Okay.
It's terrible.
They are based in Sherman, semiconductor.
Yep. Building a new fab up there.
Yeah, my name is Hector. I'm a software engineer in a company located in California, consensus cloud solution. I'm the lead of the developer rasterization. We call rasterization, but basically document conversion to different formats. So I'm a Java developer. So you're net, I'm Java. And also, I mentioned to Taha that I started a startup with a couple of friends. There is a HVAC company. We are providing like a platform that they can manage their whole company, the whole process, workflow, and everything in that platform. I think we can discuss about that after the presentation if you want. But yeah, basically that I have been here coming not too frequently, but I come at least every 2 months after the presentation to catch the presentation. Yeah.
Chris?
I'm a software engineer at Snowflake. I was at Crunchy Data, which was one of the Postgres consulting companies. I'm at Snowflake now, working on Snowflake Postgres, which is going to be a managed offering for Snowflake, working on the back end of that. I've been using Postgres for a very long time, and I know a lot about the operational side of it, the servers and the disks and all that kind of junk. So for quite a while before Snowflake, I was working on the Kubernetes operator, Kubernetes tool to run Postgres on Kubernetes.
Is Postgres popular at Snowflake?
Yes and no. They had a competing product internally. Well, they still do. There was a thing called Unistore, but it was trying to kind of pull their OLAP stuff into transactional, and now we're coming from the other direction. They're like, this has its place, it has its thing, but with Snowflake Postgres, we have Postgres, PostGIS, all the extensions, and a straight connection to Postgres, which is what everyone wants. I already forgot your question. Is it popular? Yeah, and actually there was, that was one of the things, is there's a lot of internal projects that want little databases. And
That's what I've heard, yeah. A friend of mine works stuff like it's popular.
so it will be, they announced it in June when they acquired Crunchy, and we'll be getting it out soon enough.
I have a funny story I'd like to share with everybody.
After the.
Let me forget, it's funny, it's about.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akhil. So I currently work as a PostgreSQL database administrator for Morgan Stanley. I started my career as an Oracle DBA in 2019, and I'm into Postgres from 2022, which is 3 years till now. So we are currently working on PostgreSQL updates, and the latest version currently we are using in our organization is 16.6.
So maybe we can pass on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Tejas. I'm a software developer for Infinite Computer Solutions. I don't deal with databases, but I do work on the application side of the things. Right now, we have a project where we are trying to migrate from Oracle to Postgres. So that's where I'm
from where?
From Oracle to Postgres for one of our clients. So that's where I'm here.
I'm Kavita, I'm from Fidelity, and we have Postgres different flavors in AWS, RDS, Aurora, and Postgres Flex in Azure, and we also have some on-premises Postgres, but it's in bit and pieces. Now we are looking holistically from the architecture point of view, how to provide offering for Postgres, and one of the things is migration is one of the biggest challenge from Oracle, because we have a lot of Oracle.
John.
My name is Jonathan Jackson. I'm a data analyst for a private equity company. I'm always trying to provide solutions for my CTO that has an idea but doesn't have the, I should say, efficacy to do the work and the time on his calendar. So I'm trying to provide solutions and get some questions answered. And I've been working with Postgres since like the 90s or whatever. So.
My name is Juan Prema. I'm with Rebound. I connect medical devices to Cerner or Epic. I'm not working directly with Postgres, but all our applications use Postgres on the back.
Yeah. I'm Ganesh. I work for Oracle, New York City Bank, as a DB to DB LW and as well as Postgres. We are also migrating from DB to LW.
My name is Ramesh. I'm working with Citibank as an Oracle database administrator. We are planning to move a couple of applications from Oracle to Postgres. So we are doing some POC right now.
Okay, so we're all done here. We're bringing our monitors alive.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Satish. I have around 20 plus years of experience as Oracle. Predominantly, I'm an Oracle guy, but almost like from 2018 onwards, on and off, I'm working on Postgres. I worked in Verizon for data roaming applications. That is Postgres. 7-Eleven, I worked on Postgres, and few other projects. projects I worked on Postgres. So today I'm going to talk about Oracle to Postgres. The reason why I come to this topic is like few days back, one of my friends asked me like, do you have any document with respect to ORA2PG? So I said like, I don't have, but I worked on it. So he asked me to give me the, like prepare a document and give it to him. So because of him, I created this one. I have a YouTube channel. I recently started that. I posted the entire demo. This is my YouTube channel link, so you can check that video over there. So it is there. So because of him, I prepared this, and today I'm presenting the same to all other friends. So thank you. Welcome once again. Let's start with this. So we have a couple of tools available in the market which to migrate the data from Oracle to Postgres. The most popular one is ORA2PG, and we do have DBSync, which is once again, it's an open source software. So other than this, like we have DBSync, which is a paid software, and also like we have DMS, data migration service from Oracle. So those are like kind of a pay, because if you use AWS, you need to pay for that service and other stuff. But this is an open source software. So like like because of the time, I'm directly jumping into the concepts. Like where like you are seeing like you have a database, Oracle database, and you have a tool called ORA2PG. So you are going to migrate the data from to like Oracle to Postgres. You can do it in two ways. One is you move the data from from Oracle to Postgres in terms of flat files, and then like load that flat file data to Postgres. That is one method. Or you can using ORA2PG, you can directly load the data to the Postgres. Either of the method you can make use of it. But like I can say it's a drawback or a shortfall of ORA2PG. You can't directly migrate each and every object of Oracle to Postgres. So you have to go with two steps, like two parts, you can say. So the part one is like you have table structure. First, take the copy of the table structure as a flat file. Then create those, like load those table structure into the Postgres. Then take in the second, like part B of it's a first part only. Then load the data, like same way, like take the data out of the Oracle database, then create a flat file, then load it, or like directly you copy, give the link. ORA2PG have those configurations, so I will show you shortly. So doing that is part one, where you load the tables first. Then comes the most critical part, which is the other objects, like it may be procedures, functions, triggers. All these objects we need to, like this is the most trickiest part of this tool. The reason is, like it is not matured enough to convert, like one-to-one or one-to-one mapping. Like let's say, for example, we don't have varchar2 data type in Postgres, but that data type do exist in Oracle. So that conversion, we need to take extra steps. So not only this one, like if you see sequences doesn't exist in Postgres. So that is another critical thing. So the part one, moving of the data, is simple because we create a table, we load the data. But these things you need to work, and the functions, and it may be the triggers. So like few one-to-one mapping is not there. So for those objects, we need to take extra precautions, meaning like we need to work with basically developers in case if you are not a developer, you are not from a development background. So there, that is the introduction part of this. And so in order to install this, this tool ORA2PG is written in Perl language, and Gilles Darrold he's the author of this particular tool, and I have provided the GitHub link. You can use the source code, and in case if you need, if you have a little bit of idea or like how to modify the source code, you can like alter this tool based on your need. So that is the beauty of this tool. So I have provided the link. You can make use of that one. And as part of the prerequisite, since this is built with Perl, we have to install Perl. And since the migration is from Oracle to Postgres, we have to install Oracle client. And also we need few Postgres libraries and ODBC driver we need to use, because ORA2PG uses ODBC drive to connect to Oracle database from Postgres. So those are the prerequisites. Here in the demo, I'm going to use instant client of Oracle. Here I'm showing 19C, but I'm using 21.
Satish, you want interactive questioning or?
Like if they have any questions, they can ask.
Okay, a quick question. Does this run on Windows or
any platform? So this one, like I used on Linux, so Red Hat Linux. So we need to use like don't need to go with a full client. You can use the instant client for this. So mainly we need this one, the basic and the D1 and the SQL Plus. So JDBC, it's better to use, and even SQL Plus is not needed, but better to have that library also. So this is like to install the client. So these are the RPMs. Then comes
is that instant client? Is that work with
8
or 8?
Seriously, I need to check, because 20 years back when I started with 8. So right now, I'm not sure. I didn't check any compatibility with that. So yeah. So this one, like I forgot to put the link to download this one.
And what you could do, you can send me the link to your channel.
Yeah.
And where you have the link to all this, I can post it on our Meetup.
Sure. Yeah. Like I will give you the step by step notes which I prepared for this. So you can post that up. So.
Yeah. Usually we would like to post a link to somewhere.
Yeah. Sure.
So yeah, if you have that.
Yeah. So as I said, like it's an open source software. You can download it from this GitHub link. So once you download, you will get this tar file. Then unzip that tar file using Perl makefile. So it use this makefile to compile the software which you downloaded. So when you run compile, it will check for the whether all the files which you downloaded do exist or not. Then use make and make install to build from the binaries. So then that is for the post installation. As I said, in the last this one, this is the most important step here. We need to install this one. The reason for that is to make the Perl interact with ORA2PG tools. So that is the key thing here. So these are the prerequisites we need to these are the post things we need to do with respect to the installation.
Is that a Perl library?
Yeah.
Yeah, TBD is
right. Then once the installation is completed, we need to we can use ORA2PG in two ways. One is using command prompt, pass all the parameters or all the variables you want to pass on to this particular tool as part of the command, or create a file, configuration file, and then pass through configuration file. So I have not seen anyone using the command line. So these are the options which you like. It may be PL SQL. You can mention schemas, and these are different things you can pass on as a parameter to parameter in the command line. So this is a bit tedious because you have a lot of parameters to pass. So it's not a convenient way. So I'm not seeing anyone using this one. So rather than they will go with configuration file. So I will shortly show you the path and all those things with respect to configuration file. So in the configuration file, we need to, since we are migrating from Oracle to Postgres, you have to pass the Oracle home. Nothing but like in our case, where the Oracle home exists. Because the reason why we need to give this one is it looks for the TNS names. There is a concept called TNS names in Oracle, where it's like that is giving an address to a particular like ORA2PG where the Oracle database resides. So that to do that, we need to have a TNS entries. So that path will get captured in Oracle home. Then the Oracle underscore DSN. So here you are going to give the details about the Oracle database which we are going to migrate, or the data what we are migrating. Then as usual, like we need to give the username and the password with respect to Oracle. So this is completely, here we are giving these parameters are for Oracle database parameters. Then comes, in case if you want to migrate a particular schema, which we are doing now, I'm migrating the start schema. So this is like, we can mention the schema, one or many schemas we can mention, or in case we have a concept of table space. Table space concept is totally different from Postgres and Oracle. So in Oracle, all the data resides inside table spaces. So in that case, what happens is like, let's say I have a table space named data1. So whatever the tables which resides on data1 needs to be migrated, that time I can use table space and use data1 as a table space, pass on that particular table space name to migrate the data which is present in data1 table space. So for that, we can make use of this parameter. So, and the type, like let's say, we can use the table name, views, grants, like what are the, you can give this, like even though I said like you can use functions, triggers and all those stuff, you can make use of it, but if the mapping is not there, then it will start throwing the error. So in our case, in the demo, I'm going to show you the table part of it. Then the output parameter we need to edit. So whatever the file name we need to give, like that one we can give, and the directory where you need to create. So in the beginning, I told it will create a fact file. So table structured table details of the tables and the data. So it will create a flat file. So where the flat file need to be created. So using this parameter, we can direct the tool to put the files in that particular directory. And again, so that is all related to the Oracle and the directly with respect to ORA2PG. Now we need to give the Postgres related. So same thing like how we provided the Oracle database information. Here we are going to provide Postgres information, the DB ID, port number, and all those stuff, host name. Then Postgres username and password. So yeah, so and this is the, once you pass on those parameters, you can use like show report and give the configuration file. So this is the configuration file which I was talking. In this particular configuration file, I'm going to edit all the parameters which I discussed shortly. So those parameters, if you use show parameter, you can see that like what are the tables are there, and like if since it's for a demo purpose, I didn't mention all the other type of objects. But if you have other objects, all this information, if you give the show report command with respect to ORA2PG, it will report here. And then this is one example where I'm trying to export the table. In Oracle, I have 3 tables. So it is telling that using the configuration file, the tables in the Oracle database will be exported to schema.sql. That particular SQL flat file, you can say. So in the direct output directory which I mentioned in the configuration file. And as I mentioned, common errors, these are the errors normally we used to get because the value too large for the column. Basically, this is the varchar which I told, and I think one of our Kalyani also mentioned we have Kalyani, Kavita, sorry. So Kavita also mentioned she had a problem with the UUID. So that is another best example where this tool will not work as it has to, but we have to tweak to get the solution out of it. So, and also no privilege on the table space. So these are few error, and the sysdate field. So these are the common errors we used to get. So yeah, let's get into the demo of this. So,
do you have extra desktops because of the duplicate projector?
Duplicate your screen.
I don't know, you're just showing me.
So is this I don't know.
You can see your screen. How's the correction of it?
It looks like my device I was here.
That's your computer. This is your computer, right?
Yeah.
So,
That looks like another workspace.
yeah, there's some windows.
That's mine, I don't know.
Maybe it is extended desktop, so we can do a duplication. That way both screens will have it.
How do you do that?
Windows P. Duplicate the
Windows 3. Okay.
Technical problems.
Yeah, we call IT.
IT support. Okay, now we just even talking about the support.
So in your example, you are only focusing on tables, you have no procedures.
No, I didn't get that time to do that one. So, yeah. So this is two-node database, and these are the 3 tables which I want to migrate it to. See here, it is Postgres. Postgres is running 1 second. Let me log into Postgres. So this is the database. And here you can see that there are no tables present actually. So now I will run this command. So it takes few minutes because these servers are not production servers. So in case if you guys have any questions.
This is all that is running in your machine. You have Oracle running?
Yeah. The two-node rack is running.
Oracle rack.
Yeah. I need to thank to Ravi sir. He is my mentor as well. So because of him, I brought this laptop. So this is 64 GB laptop. So RAM 64 GB.
Oracle is running on the laptop?
Yeah.
He's running right. He's even not traditional.
So these are all the VMs I'm running on this laptop.
So it's all right. Real application cluster.
You know what? He runs his Exadata machine also on his laptop.
Really? Exadata.
But it's running on, Oracle's running on the. Yeah.
Yes.
So I had problems last time I tried that on my Mac. So, yeah, you can see it. Yeah, so as I showed in the demo, so this is the report. These are the three tables. So now, so before hitting there, these. One second. These are the three tables are there. So now what I did is here in this one I installed in this machine I installed the ORA2PG tool already. So I use this command to show what are all the tables which it is going to migrate from Oracle to Postgres. So
can you add that config file?
Yeah. So this, okay. So as I told, in ORA2PG, we use configuration file, right? So that is, I was talking about this configuration file. So here, if you see, Oracle home, this particular line tells where exactly the DNS entries with respect to Oracle exist. So let me.
So you can run this on a separate server.
Yeah. So you can install ORA2PG. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. You can install ORA2PG tool on any of the environments. It may be source or a target. You can install ORA2PG on Oracle server itself, or you can install ORA2PG on Postgres database server, or you can have a separate server running ORA2PG. So you can have.
Yeah, it will, the connections.
Yeah, you have to mention the connection string as I'm showing here. Here you need to give Oracle related. One second.
Let me specify the host again.
So.
CD.
So here I'm giving this is my Oracle connection. I mean Oracle connectivity. Using this connectivity, so you can see here I mentioned ORA DBWR. That is my connection string to Oracle. So if you see the configuration file.
So that's a 3-node.
No, that's a scan IP. So if you see here, I'm giving in this one DBID of Oracle with ORA DBWR. So that DBWR, this one it is taking from this file, the TNS names.ora. Okay, so or you can give this way, or you can.
If you're running this on a separate server.
Okay.
Let's say you have a dedicated server running ORA2PG. How would it know the host?
It is there here. If you see the DNS names, right?
You have to install Oracle client on that. So if it is a separate server, you need to have Oracle connectivity, you have to have Postgres connectivity and the Oracle connectivity, you will have TNS names.ora, which will point to that.
The key is installing the client, the Oracle client on that server. That makes sense.
That host is, he said like it's a scan IP. That's how you are going to database.
Yes, that makes sense.
The install type, install type, we should first of beginning of the slide prerequisite.
So let's say this is your Oracle, and this is our Postgres database. Now, and so now what I'm in the demo with what I'm showing, I installed ORA2PG. So that is having a configuration file. So inside this configuration file, what I'm giving is the address of this Oracle.
Yeah, but you have the Oracle client here.
Yeah, so you need to have, so initially when I started the demo, as a prerequisite, I'm going for for the prerequisite for ORA2PG is, the first one is Perl, second one is Oracle client. So as part of the prerequisite, we have to install Oracle client so that it talks to Oracle.
Exactly.
So that is the most important thing actually. So.
That makes sense.
So now this one is ORA2PG WR1. So this is the database which is running in this server. Now I'm giving all this information here, but what I'm doing is instead of passing all these values inside the configuration file, we have TNS names. This is part of Oracle. So inside this, I'm giving all this information, and I'm passing the value of this particular TNS names inside configuration file.
And to add, this vice versa as well. If we have ORA2PG on the Oracle server, we need to have the PostgreSQL software. Without initiation, we just have the RPM there. So the P-SQL can be used to connect to Postgres, and the existing Oracle bindings to connect to the local Oracle database. So,
Yeah. So as you mentioned, like let's say in the another scenario where like we have like this is our Oracle and this is our Postgres. Now I install ORA2PG here. So in this scenario, ORA2PG needs to talk to Postgres. So here we are going to install PG client, basically the two RPMs which is needed for Postgres client. And once you install this one, you have to pass on all the connection string related to Postgres to ORA2PG configuration file. Yes.
So when it talks to Oracle, is it using ODBC or JDBC or?
ODBC. So
ODBC.
yeah, initially itself I mentioned.
I remember you said something. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, Perl interacts with Oracle through ODBC.
Does it have to be a specific ODBC driver?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, like this is the file, like I made. So preparing Postgres database. So like because of shortage of time, I didn't. I'm not able to show all these things. So when you install this one, after installing, creating the database, then installing the Oracle client and the Perl. So here you can see, like I installed the Perl, then, so 1 second. So
the job is still running in the background.
yeah, I think that is completed. So we need to take the export of the table actually. 1 second. Yeah, I was explaining the configuration file. So this is as I mentioned, like you can see here, this is the database name ORA2PG. So we are passing the information of Oracle database with this particular parameter. Then we have username as system and manager. Normally, like you don't need to pass on the password here. You can use what or whatever like you want. You can use whatever the configuration you need to safeguard your system. So just for the demo purpose, I just mentioned it as a manager. So that is one thing. And later like schema. See here I'm exporting. There is a schema in Oracle. So if you see here, the owner is nothing but like the schema with respect to Oracle. So Scott is the owner, and under Scott schema we have 3 tables. So I want to move those 3 tables from Oracle to Postgres. So that information, the schema information, then in case like the schema is not there, you can create that one. So there are many tools like many parameters you can pass on, and like you can work around with make use of those parameters. Like let's so next is like Postgres related information. So even though Postgres is running on the same server in our setup, we have to pass on. We have to pass on the information of the Postgres server also. So in this case, in here, in our case, so the ORA2PG is running here. So even though this tool runs in the same server where Postgres is running, this tool needs to be educated about Postgres. So that is what we are doing with respect to PG and DSL, where we are passing on the Postgres connection information now.
So is that IP address the actual outside IP address of the PG server, or can you just use local?
Yeah, it's like wherever it is running, like how you connect. So you have to pass on that information to pghpa.conf. So those things you have to take care, like connectivity. Since like I can't show everything in one session, so I'm just skipping those parts. So this is like again username is Postgres, and I kept the password as password, and also this output, and also the output directory. So this is the directory where the flat files will get created. So next is like so once the Perl is installed, then I'm going to install ORA2PG. So this one, and then edit the configuration file, and then this one. So now let's run to copy the tables. So here it will create the .SQL. Oh, second, I think it's already there. Oh, it's already there. One second. Initiate this one.
So this is going to export it to
Yeah,
that long SQL file.
Yeah.
Okay. With inserts and stuff.
Structure of data.
It's just the structure. Then once you issue the copy command, it will directly copy the data.
How big is the database?
It's very small. I didn't check it, let me check that.
It's a sample file.
If you have a large one, is it worth it?
Maybe, interestingly, for us, when we do Oracle, when we did Oracle migration, we exported the
Yeah, it's. But like, that's
As far as my lab's going.
Yeah, because here, I tried this a few years ago, ORA2PG, and I got some errors. I guess it was error, but I didn't know what to do, so I just said, you know what? Let's go back to the tool and try. Basically, look at the structure, create the structure in Oracle and Postgres, export the data into compatibility, and come back. Yeah, the spool. The good old spool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But of course, the problems we always had in Oracle is
now you can
store
see-
procedures, packages, and those, what do you call it? Binary types. The binary storage.
Oh,
Okay. Those were, Migrating and Postgres, but in Oracle it's called, what's the data types.
Blob.
Right here. Those are.
So here you can see that, like the table, yeah, so it created that, three tables. First it scans and then export the table to this .SQL.
so what's it show, man?
Sorry?
What if you have that schema?
Yeah, I'm doing that. So, yeah, there you go. So it don't have the information about the data. It is just the skeleton of the table.
And how we get the data?
So next is like, we need to create these tables. So,
I don't know how it's. We have the star table.
star schema is not there. So, earlier it was not there, so now you have these three tables. Next, we need to export the, so 1 second. So there are no rows. Okay, so now. This will copy the.
Can the data be chunked if there's large data sets?
Yeah, you have an option where there is a parameter where you can limit how much of data you
Like a
can.
batch size.
Huh?
Like a batch?
Yeah, so I forgot that parameter. There is a parameter limit.
So you can basically chunk it and have multiple files and import them one by one.
No. I mean, like, let's say for example, you have one table, you want to, like, segregate the amount of data what you want to push to the Oracle. That you can, when you create you can create a flat file and then you can do that one. I was talking about like the speed at which you can move the data.
So basically a stream.
Yeah.
So when this is happening, if you need to do this like in a production database, where things are transactional data is being pushed into Oracle side, do we need to run it in a
No,
continuous mode?
no. You can't, you don't get the live data.
Okay.
So for that, you need to use different tools. So, like as Ravi sir mentioned,
When we migrated the database from on-premise to AWS EC2 EDB, we used the data migration service tool, okay, where they push the older data, okay, followed by the delta load. Okay, delta load is the continuation of the current transactions that happen. So at one particular point, there will be a cutover where applications are stopped, no more incoming of data to the database, large chunk of the data will be loaded.
But the ORA2PG
doesn't do the delta load.
so basically like what happens is, for your question, is with respect to DMS, data migration service in AWS, that works with change data capture. Whatever the changes which happens at the Oracle side, it will capture and it will move that data to the target. So that is totally different. And also DMS, it is good like when you are working with AWS tools. Okay, it's good, but like again, you need to pay for that, right? So that is another thing. And Oracle has a tool called Oracle Golden Gate. It's the most popular and most eminent tool, but you have to pay heavy price for it. So,
There is one open source. There is one open source tool named
Division.
Now also it's a CDC.
Yeah. So basically, DMS is built on the top of Divisium. DMS is built on the top of Divisium. And because it's open source tool.
Yeah, and I heard good news about Divisium. I've looked at it, never used it. If anybody here who has used it, I want to give a talk about it.
I use it on device.
So, would you be open to give a talk about it?
Yeah. I need just 2 minutes.
You've got 3 months.
3 months. Take your time to create the demo.
All involved, then. So it'll be March.
Oh, March.
We can do it.
April. Yeah, I will be on the Java conference next.
Okay.
March. April.
Yep. So here we come. No, Divisium, I've heard, like, I know Marcel, who was one of our community members, he used it for one of the major projects, and he has been successful. It is, I hear they will use it for replication.
Yeah.
So we have DBSync, ORA2PG, DMS is AWS. What else?
Divisium.
That's
it.
That's one Red Hat.
What's it?
Red Hat. The
That's
company.
So Oracle doesn't have a concept of logical replication.
So it is giving me I need to install the latest Perl. It is giving some error.
You have data? No.
No, it didn't came yet. So I have to reinstall this software. So what I'll do is I will give you my YouTube thing, where I showed this one. So I have to connect to internet to get those functions.
Yeah, no, don't worry. That's very good. Thank you. That was actually, I guess, it was very clear for me to understand that you have dependencies you have to install.
It seems like the application would be the really tricky part.
Yeah, when you are migrating, you should have a thorough knowledge of the application.
Yeah, right.
What data, what data type are there? So those things you should have the knowledge. Otherwise, this migration is not a completely a DBA task. It's like a group effort, so where you need to work closely with the development.
And when you share with me, Brian,